Hello everyone, and I welcome you all to this new video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about Linux and how I found my balance or the perfect fit that I need. So, this comes with a bit of context, right? For example, this is the context, right? Year ago, like almost an year ago, I was, trying Linux and everything in between. So I was primarily I was a Windows user, so to say. So I was experimenting with things, and I can just dual boot it, right? So that's the thing, and this is my configuration and the problems, right? It is like the issue is I think everybody using Linux can feel that things are not polished too much, right? Like it is not good enough, but yeah. Again, this don't take it in the other way around, but yeah, this is something you can notice. So GNOME is the widely adapted or widely available like desktop environment to you. So that was the initial one that I have to try, or it is the default one that comes with many of the the distributions, for example, Fedora, Ubuntu, and so on. So quite that was quite the thing that you had with yourself. So then I tried everything, right. For example, this is I don't even remember what this is, like, XFCE. This is the desktop environment, but the scaling is a pain in the butt. For example, in Linux, I would say scaling, like for example, there is no one size fit all display configuration for everyone, so it will maybe work or it may not work. That's about it. So the problem with GNOME was, I will come to that in later on. Plasma is the most customizable and and the longest one that I have used, I think. The problem is that it was too bloated. But again, I have found the solution, so I will talk about it in just a minute. Gnome's approach was better in terms of the lightweightness, but the issues was there. And Manjaro, I think it has a pretty bad reputation around the community. So I still choose to work with that, and the only thing that I liked about it was the terminal. It was quite good looking by the default terminal. And then I used Fedora with GNOME. So okay, the thing is that the issues are, it could be subjective after all. So like the Fedora was constantly having the IO hell, right? When I used to put my lid down and wake it up, it won't work. The things that are in the RAM, that will just work, and if you try to perform anything beyond that, it just started like going down the hill. And Mint was quite good, but quite resource intensive in the some situations I have noticed. And the problems with Cinnamon, that I think those are the people who are using it is aware about that. So Mint was the first one that I have tried, and I think it is quite good for you to start with. Another thing is that the desktop environments are not customized or optimized based on your the model or anything, right? It tries to have a like one size fit all, or like a generalized approach, and sometimes it causes the issues, like maybe it is the laptop manufacturer that is not providing the APIs or whatever you can call it properly. So that could be the thing, and there are so many ifs and buts and ups and downs, right? Yeah, there are also, support is not available as a community, right? For example, if you find something for Dell, HP, you will find a lot of people using that, Lenovo for that matter. But this was a little bit, a rare hardware, so that was kind of a bummer for me. And the good part about was, okay, by the way, this is my article, so no obligation, the account creation is not there, and you can maintain it, you can basically configure it without internet, even if you don't have internet. Other thing is that one thing I noticed is that the performance is considerably better than any other counterpart for that matter, like for example in Windows. And other thing I noticed is the network is quite good. For example, this Wi-Fi connection, it works instantly, and in case of like Windows, it struggles with the same Wi-Fi card. I don't know why. And so currently, it was not good enough, at least in that context when I have written this blog. Yeah, so this was my summary line. A few weeks ago, I thought to burn my hands again, and I went ahead and this time with Ubuntu 24.10, the latest one I think they ship. 24.04 is also good, but and that is the one I think you should be going with. But I think the issue with that was it was not coming with Wayland as default, right? And everybody is saying that Wayland is the future, so I thought why not just start with Wayland itself. So I think 24.10 out with Wayland. So I thought going with that. Now comes the challenge. GNOME. I hate GNOME because of its the push for own ideology. Like, I mean, it tries so hard to be a rigid model, right? For example, when you try to, I don't like status bars in the top because I'm coming from Windows, right? I don't like status bar from in the top. Maybe it is good for Mac users, but I don't like that. There are other things that I don't like. One of them was that, other thing was that it is not desktop app friendly. Like, for example, when you use Windows and Mac OS to a certain extent for that matter, you tend to put your shortcuts and everything on your desktop, right? Like right here. So you have to go for extensions for every simple thing, and it was like a feeling of constantly patching up things. So that was pretty bad experience with GNOME. So this time I decided to go with Kubuntu, or Ubuntu with KDE Plasma. So that was my choice of the desktop environment and distro. Ubuntu because of the wide support, and I thought this could be the most stable one, if not the best, but this is the most stable one. So I settled on that, and yeah, so far so good. The primary issue that I had initially was that first one was the scaling. The resolution was not crisp enough, right? When I used to fractionally scale, especially I think I noticed that issue in the GNOME, and cursor flickering was the issue in Cinnamon. When I used to fractionally scale things, it used to have that cursor flickering issue. Okay, so these are the issues that I faced. Debian was like, it is too ancient for us, right? I think, and so then I settled with Kubuntu, and some of the setup things that I have noted down here, right? These are the things, like it looks awful in bare bones, right? KDE Plasma, in my opinion. So I installed this theme. I think this is quite popular. Global installation is having some issues, so installed each of the component, for example, colors and all of those things. That was the thing that gave me a pretty good start. As you can see, at least these are the things pretty good and snappy enough. And this is the rounded corners one. I think I will give the link in the description if anybody wants to check it out. Basically, what used to happen is this. The top part used to have that rounded corner, but the bottom one doesn't. So it was kind of like a middle child, right? It is not neither Windows 11, neither Windows 10. So I thought just give it a Windows 11 sort of look, right? Why not? So I went with this and the installation was pretty simple and it worked quite good. And another small caveat that I still notice is that of, you can say it, that the browser support, right? For example, the Firefox works well in Linux environments, but it has that issue of that it doesn't support the independent installation of PWA, like progressive web apps. And I used to do that all the time, because, for example, this is WhatsApp. So this is just installed as a PWA using Chrome. But the problem with Chrome is that it doesn't support the trackpad gestures. Even though I have enabled some of the flag, it doesn't work. But some of the people are pointing out that Chromium on Linux is not actively maintained, and it is always treated as second child, right? So that was the issue that I felt. And the touch bar scrolling is a bit janky, but yeah, it works, and it is at least I have tweaked the settings and it is quite better. and the WhatsApp calls, it is not there because WhatsApp natively doesn't support WhatsApp app. And another thing is that the fingerprint is not available out of the box. It can be because of the different OEMs and all of those things, but it wasn't there. So I can technically configure it, but I haven't configured it right now. Another small issues that I have noticed is like this. Sometimes when you are in the full screen, and when you close down the lid, the apps will, I don't know why, they will just put themselves in the corner and something like this. So I cannot show it because if I do that, the screen recording will pause. But I think you understand. And another thing is this one: no app respect the window styling. I don't know why, but it is the case, right? For example, VS Code brings their own this window management, like styling and everything else, but the system apps works great, right? The system apps one I have configured with the Whitesir, and it works great. So that is it. This was my setup, and it is quite good. And I will give the link of this, and this is the font that SF Pro and JetBrains Mono. So this is JetBrains Mono. I think you can understand from here. This is JetBrains Mono, and I have configured the terminal also. But that's the beauty; you can just customize as much as you want. So that is it. So I hope you like this video. I'll try to be as concise as possible from the next video onwards and all of those things. So that's about it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.